Of Dancing Princess. There was a king who had 12 beautiful daughters. They slept in 12 beds, all in one room. And when they went to bed, the doors were shut and locked up. But every morning, their shoes were found to be quite worn through as if they had been danced in all night. And yet, nobody could find out how it happened or where they had been. Then the king made it own all of the land, that if any person could discover the secret and find out where it was that was the princess's dance in the night, he should have the one he liked best for his wife, and should be the king after his death. But whoever tried and did not succeed after 3 days and nights should be put to death. A king's sons soon came. He was well entertained, and the evening was taken to the chamber next to the one where the princesses lay in their child bed. There he was to sit and watch where they went to dance, and in order that nothing might pass without her hearing it, the door of his chamber was left open. But the king's son soon fell asleep, and when he woke up in the morning, he found that the princesses had all been dancing, for the sole of their shoes were full of holes. The same thing happened the second and the third night, so the king ordered his head to be cut off. After him came several others, but they had all the same luck, and all lost their lives in the same manner. Now it chanced that an old soldier who had been wounded in the battle and could fight no longer passed through the country where this king reigned, and as he was traveling through the wood, he met an old woman, who asked him where he was going. "I hardly know where I am going, or what I had better do," said the soldier, "but I think I should like every well to find out where it is that the princesses dance, and then in time I might be a king." "Well," said the old dame, "that is no very hard task. Only take care not to drink any of the wine which one of the princesses will bring to you in the evening, and as soon as she leaves you pretend to be fast asleep." She gave him a cloak and said, "As soon as you put that on you will become invisible, and you will then be able to follow the princesses wherever they go." When the soldiers heard all this counsel, he determined to try his luck. So he went to the king and said he was willing to undertake the task. He was as well received as the others had been, and the king ordered the fine royal robes to be given him. And when the evening came, he was led to the outer chamber, just as he was doing to lie down. The eldest of the princesses brought him a cup of wine, but the soldier threw it all away secretly, taking care not to drink a drop. Then he laid himself down on his bed, and in a little while began to snore very loud, as if he was fast asleep. When the 12 princesses heard this, they laughed heartily, and the eldest said, "This fellow too might have done a wiser thing than lose his life in this way." Then they rose up and opened their drawers and boxes, and looked at all their fine clothes, and dressed themselves as the glass, and skipped about if they were eager to begin dancing. The youngest said, "I don't know how it is. While you are so happy, I feel very uneasy. I am sure some mischance will befall us." "You simpleton," said the eldest, "you are always afraid. You have forgotten how many kings and sons have already watched in vain. And as of this soldier, if I have not given him his sleeping breath, he would sleep slowly enough." When they were all ready, they went and looked up all the soldier, but the snore on, and did not stir in or foot. Thought they were quite safe, and the eldest went up to her own bed and clapped her hand, and the bed sunk into the floor, and the trap door flew open. The soldier saw them going down through the trap door, after another, the eldest leading the way. And thinking he has no time to lose, he jumped up, put on and cloak with the old woman had given him, followed them. But in the middle of the stairs he trod on the gown of the youngest princess, and she cried out to her sister, "All is not right. Someone took hold of my gown." "You silly creatures," said the eldest, "it is nothing but a nail in the wall." Then down they all went, and all the bloom they found themselves in the most delightful grove of trees, and the leaves were all of silver. Then they came to another grove of trees, where all the leaves were of gold, and afterward to a third. There the leaves were all glitter diamonds, and the soldier broke a branch from each, and every time there was a loud noise, which made the youngest sister tremble with fear. But the eldest still said it was only the princess, who were crying for joy, so they went on till they came to a great lake. At the side of the lake there lay 12 little boats, with 12 handsome princes in them, who seemed to be waiting there for the princesses. The princesses went into each boat, and the soldiers stepped into the same boat with the youngest. As they were rowing over the lake, the prince who was in the boat with the youngest prince and the soldier said, "I don't know why it is, but though I am rowing with all might, we do not get on so fast as usual, and I am quite tired. The boat seems very heavy today." "It is only the heat of the weather," said the prince. "Very warm too." On the other side of the lake stood a fine illuminated castle, from which came the merry music of horn and trumpets. They were all landed and went into the castle, and each prince danced with his princess, and the soldier, who has all the time invisible, danced with them too. And when any of the princesses had a cup of wine set by her, he drank it all up, so that when she put the cup on her mouth it was empty. At this too, the youngest sister was terribly frightened, but the eldest always silenced her. They danced until 3 o'clock in the morning, and then all the shoes were worn out, so that they were obliged to leave off. The prince rowed them back around over the lake. On of the opposite shore they took leave of each other. The princesses promised to come again the next night. Came into the stairs, the soldier ran on before the princesses and laid himself down. And as the 12 sisters slowly came up, very much tired, they heard him snoring in his bed. So they said, "Now all is quite safe." Then they undressed themselves, put away their fine clothes, pulled off their shoes, and went to bed. In the morning the soldier said nothing about that happened. Came in to see more of this strange adventure, and went again the second and the third night, and everything happened just as before. The princesses danced each time till their shoes were worn of pieces, and then returned home. Whatever the third night, the soldier carried away on the golden cups as a token of there he had been. As soon as the time came when he was to declare the secret, he was taken before the king with the 3 branches and the golden cup. And the 12 princesses stood listening behind the door to hear what would say. And when the king asked him, "Where did you, my 12 daughters, dance at night?" he said, "With the 12 prince in the castle, 12 prince in the castle underground." And then he told the king all that happened, and showed him the 3 branches and the golden cup which he had brought with him. King called the princesses and asked them whether what the soldier said was true. And when they saw that they were discovered, and that it was of no use to deny what had happened, they confessed it all. And the king asked the soldier which of them he would choose for his wife. And he answered, "I am not very young, so I will have the eldest." And they were married that very day, and the soldier was chosen to be the king. Her. The end.